right now is Stanley Cup season, hockey, and up in the Great White North, hockey is king. There are areas in the United States where people are footballers. Football is like the thing. Some areas in the States where it's baseball. Some areas where it's acting. Some where it's music. But in Canada, hockey. And oddly enough, it was only recently that I ended up seeing Goon. Yeah, Goon is a vulgar hockey film from Canada in this similar sort of vein as Slapshot. Now, usually when people talk about the greatest Canadian films, they should, at least in my own opinion, include Goon somewhere on the list. If not top 10, then top 15 at least. But, if you don't like vulgar films and hockey things, then yeah, Goon's not going to be for you. But personally, I like me a good swear fest, some good fights and whatever. That stuff may not be my go-to in terms of film, but every now and again, and why not just pop in a thing and listen to some people trash talking one another, right? So the movie stars Sean William Scott, Jay Baruchel, Alison Pill, and Liev Schreiber. The thing that I was immediately surprised with was how Sean William Scott's character is written, okay? Now, when people grew up with Sean William Scott in the 90s and 2000s, he's best remembered as Steve Stifler from American Pie. Even when he didn't do any American Pie films, like when he did Road Trip and even Dude, Where's My Car, he's not really energetic or vulgar in Dude, Where's My Car, but you can still see Stifler. With Goon, of course, how many years have passed since doing American Pie. Sean William Scott, he has such a different look to him. Like, his hair's way darker, it's buzzed, he has a beard, and he's not a party animal. He's not mean. He's not vulgar. Sean William Scott in this film, he's very nice. He's caring. He has a really big heart. He wants to be everyone's friend. And he wants everyone to feel the best darn way that they possibly can. And, because it's Sean William Scott, it's Steve Stifler, that's what makes it such a major surprise. That's wow. I've seen interviews with Sean William Scott, and I've read a little bits about how he went about playing Stifler, and apparently, from what's been insinuated, when Sean William Scott was in both Goon movies, he's more like his character in Goon than he ever was as Stifler. Sean William Scott plays this young man who's hasn't really been good at anything ever, and he has a kind of a boring job. Well, it's not a good job at all, actually. And he has a couple of friends. He has a bit of a kind of an eccentric family, and one day his best friend, who's played by Jay Baruchel, invites him to a hockey game because Jay's character is a big hockey fanatic. They're at a hockey game, and Stifler beats the hell out of one of the players for a homophobic slur. Sean William Scott's brother in the movie happens to be gay, so that really sets him off, and he beats the hell out of the hockey player. Sean William Scott, he's not actually he's not a good skater at all. He doesn't really know a whole lot about hockey. But because he's so good at fighting, he gets recruited to just be a goon. be an enforcer. Like, he doesn't need to score goals or anything. He's pretty much just going to play defense, and he'll just skate around wherever and just beat the living hell out of whoever comes near him. When things end up happening, he finds a new purpose in life. He really likes protecting people. He likes being part of a team. And, he's such a good hockey player. Well, he's such a good fighter, actually, not a good hockey player, that they eventually give him, they make him captain. Meanwhile, there's a few other guys on the team that are very jealous of him because they've been trying to be great hockey players their entire lives. And they don't get much recognition, and there's Sean William Scott who just joins, and he doesn't know hockey or anything, but he still becomes captain. Yeah, eventually, the whole friendship maze ends up taking its toll, and it is really nice to see how all these characters come together because, maybe it's just me living in Canada my whole life. I really saw a lot of, not my own personal experiences, but people that I grew up with in this film. Like not actual people that I recognize or anything, but their own traits, their own personalities. I saw a lot of that in these characters. And some of the places that they go to, some of the bars, I saw a lot of that also with this film. Some places and bars that I would go to. And of course, a lot of people, whenever they think of Goon, if they ever do, they always think of the fights. This movie is extremely brutal, very, very graphic in terms of its violent nature. But that's what's so fun about it. I mean, it's just nasty, some of the brutality of the fights but it's funny. It's so absurd and so nasty that you just can't help but laugh at it, just how violent it is. When people watch Rocky or really any boxing film, that's different because you have these gigantic pads, gigantic gloves. Even when you're watching a UFC fight, they have gloves, and in UFC, it's not just about punching. Like, a lot of it is grapples and holds and submission maneuvers. But in this one, bare knuckles, and it's just throwing fists at one another. If it's 3.5 stars before. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you again next time.